I'm so sick of this weekend. I don't even want to hear it.
Everyone, welcome back to This Takes the Cake. My name's Michelle, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. And I have Marsi, who's the founder of Brite Beauty in Dallas, Fort Worth. Marsi, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. As you said, I run Brite Beauty. We do hairstyling and makeup. We have a studio. We do not only bridal, but women going to any events. It's Dallas, so honey, they'll get ready for brunch. It's, anything.
Anything.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so we've worked together quite a few times.
Yes.
I don't think you I've been such a huge fan of you. Like ever since we came into the Dallas market, I think one of my first weddings was with Brite Beauty, and I just fell in love with your brand, the energy, the artist. So I'm so happy that we're here together.
My gosh. Thank you. Wow. What a great intro. Well, we really do strive to be our best, just like you and here at Stunning and Brilliant Events. So, it's just doing a great job for our clients.
Yes. All right, let's get into this.
Okay.
So today we're going to learn all about Marsi and Brite Beauty. So talk to me about when did you start Brite Beauty, and did you always know that you wanted to be in the beauty industry?
So I took cosmetology in high school. So as soon as I graduated, I went straight to work.
Okay.
But I worked in the traditional salon doing cuts, color, behind the chair, back in my hometown in Lubbock, Texas. And then I had the idea for Brite. Actually, before my husband and I left Lubbock, I was just kind of sitting on it, and then moved and decided to just go for it, just launch, and just do the damn thing. And so off I went. And
how old were you?
So that was 6 years ago, 2018.
Okay.
I won't tell you how old I was.
Yeah, I was like, should I even say it? Okay, 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago. And it's been an adventure. It's one of those things. I mean, as you know, like when you start your path on a business or doing something different, you're just never quite fully prepared.
No,
but
never.
Never. It's the same with having kids, as we were just talking about. But, it's been such an adventure and so fun. Lots of hard work, but I love it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Brite Beauty has an amazing studio. Tell us more about studio services.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of our studio. So our studio is off of Lovers Lane and the Tollway, for anybody who's familiar with Dallas, close to Highland Park. It's a beautiful space in a great area. So at the studio, women can get blowouts, hairstyling, and makeup services. We do bridal previews, which are trials in that space as well. We also, if a bride doesn't have, if she's getting married in Dallas proper, maybe a church wedding, or she doesn't have a venue where she has access earlier, something like that, they can get ready. Or maybe it's a small ceremony, all different reasons, they can actually get ready inside our space and lease out our space. So that's really helpful and nice and fun too.
It's a beautifully laid out space. It's so cute, honestly. Like you walk in and it's super fun, from the rug in the front door to the color of your door. I walked in and I saw your door and I was like, oh yes.
Yes.
Love it.
We have a bright pink door. Okay. So also though, when you come to our space, you have to walk through this ugly, straight up 1980s hallway. It's hideous. So I always worry about our clients because I'm like, oh my gosh, if they've never been
hallway
here,
might scare you.
Yeah, you're like, where am I going? What is this place that I'm going? It's terrible. But then you see the pink door, you walk in, it's like, oh, beauty wonderland.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I love the photos that you have in there. I had asked you who put all this together?
Yeah.
You literally your blood and sweat went into that studio.
Yeah, I GC'd that job. So I also think that in another life I was doing construction or something. It was pretty fun. But I did have a little bit of help from an interior designer there in Dallas, help bring the vision to life as well. But we had that swing was her idea, the swing in our space. That was her stamp, and we love that. That's been such a hit. So
so fun. I can't wait to go back.
Yes, come see us anytime.
So you also have a lot of artists on your team. You have a huge team. When did you know it was time to grow into a full-blown business?
Yeah, that's a great question. We do have 40 artists on the team.
40?
40. Uh-huh.
I've only seen a small amount of those folks.
Yes, we have
So amazing.
a large team. We can do a lot. You know, the thing as you grow is that you have to protect quality, right?
Yes.
So then systems, processes, how do we vet the team? All of those come into play as you grow. So I knew that I wanted to launch a team from the jump because I had been behind the chair working as an individual artist for so long. I started the business with the team in mind. So in April of 2018, I launched the website. In June of 2018, we did our first wedding, and it was a big wedding, and I had already there was 5 or 6 of us on that wedding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I just knew that that's like what I wanted to do.
I mean, you can't do it by yourself.
No, you really can't. I mean, you can't do. Yeah, no, you cannot do it by yourself. You know, some choose to stay smaller. There's a lot of merit to that. That's a nice thing too. So it's just really deciding for what people want to do, but for us, it works really well, and we have a great team culture.
Yeah. So, do you have advice for any other wedding pros who want to expand their team?
Yes. You better love to work. Number 1.
Yes. You better love to work.
Yes,
definitely.
And I would say the best advice I could, okay, I'll give the advice that was given to me. So in 2018, when I was thinking about starting this business and this company, I met with an entrepreneur. He has a national business, and he said, I don't lose sleep over myself. I know that I can take care of myself at the end of the day. I'm not worried about that. I can take care of myself. I can take care of my family. Like, that's fine. I lose sleep over my employees. Their livelihood depends on me. Their livelihood depends on the success of this business. That's what I lose sleep over. He said, when you're ready to take on that kind of responsibility, you're ready to run a full business with a full team. And that really resonated with me. And, that makes you stop and think, like, am I ready for that kind of responsibility? And I knew in that moment I was, because as big as a tall order as that is, I was like, I can do it. I'm going to do it.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You did it.
And I did it.
And look at your company now.
Yes. And we just keep growing, and we can't wait to expand outside of DFW too. That's what's next. So
I can't wait for you to expand. We've got many locations who are ready for you.
Yay. Yes. I know y'all have such a big team here.
I know.
Cities.
I lose track. Don't ask me.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
literally every other week there's a new location. It's exciting.
That is exciting.
So, as the founder and owner of Brite Beauty, are you still in the weeds, or have you stepped into the manager role? What does that look like for you?
I still feel like I wear all the hats all the time.
Yes.
Yes.
But has it changed from
Yes.
when you started?
Yes. So I don't do hair nearly as much as I used to. But here's the thing. Hair is fun. That's so easy for me. That's such a creative outlet. So when I am working with a client, I love it. Oh my gosh, I could do it in my sleep. That's just so fun. I don't do it as much. I do it more for our VIP clients, like Colleen Hoover. I'll sell her hair. Some of the others, and then personal.
Blake Lively in person too.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to bring that up.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she's so amazing. But, so I'll get my hands in hair sometimes, but most of the time it is behind the scenes and more of the administrative kind of work.
Okay, so you're do you still go to weddings? What percentage of weddings do you do?
I'm trying to think of this last year. I've done two weddings this year.
Is there a point where you want to just step into the manager role, or do you still love being
hard to
at
say.
Weddings and events?
That's hard to say, because
Yeah.
I think it's good to get creative and have that fun and be with the team too. So I don't know if there'll ever be a time where I just completely say no more. It just gets harder and harder with the growth of the team to step into that role. But it is fun. I study business. Oh my gosh, I just love business, so much. And
we
so
talked about this.
Yes.
Yeah, I love business too.
Yeah, so I just study business all the time and successful entrepreneurs. And the founder of Southwest, oh my gosh, how can I forget his name? Wow. And anyway, but he had a philosophy that everybody should work all the jobs and to stay relevant and to stay in with what's going on in your company. And I think Herb Keller, there we go. And I think that's really great advice.
No, I think that's great that you're still working alongside the stylist, still working on brides and all that. Yeah, I think it's important that you are still putting your hands in everything because that's how you continue to learn. That's how you develop relationships with your team. So I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What is a challenge for hair and makeup artists that people might not realize? Maybe like wedding specific.
Yes. I think the biggest challenge is communication.
Yes.
I think that when there's a breakdown, when something happens, it's a lack of communication. And so clients need to have a pretty good understanding of what they want and then articulate that to the hair and makeup team. And then hair and makeup needs to have the professionalism and the ability to dive in, to ask really investigative questions, to find out really what the client wants. And then making it okay if the client gets the look and then they decide it's not the look that they want, to make sure that the artist make sure that the client knows it's okay if you want to change it, right? So
yeah, I can imagine some brides will sit there, look in the mirror, and not have the look that they imagine.
yes,
But they're
they
too
don't
afraid to
it.
say anything,
Yes.
and then they get upset.
Yes. And it's like we say all the time, especially on our team. I mean, that is just driven in, like, you can't hurt our feelings.
Yeah.
You can't hurt our feelings. Please speak up. Tell us if there's something you want to change, if you don't like the way something looks. Because a bride can think like, oh, I want this Hollywood wave. And then they get it and they're like, oh, wait, I don't actually like this structure of a style.
Or they don't really understand what a Hollywood wave is.
Mm-hmm. I had a conversation with a bride this week, and she had not been to see our team yet, and she had a trial done elsewhere, and she said she really wasn't happy. And I asked why, right? And she said, well, I asked for waves. I got a Hollywood wave. Okay. It's not at all what I wanted, and what I really want is more of like a big blowout look. So I said, well, that's
totally different looks.
Two totally completely different looks, right? And I said, well, please, send us any inspo photos you have before. And yeah, we'll definitely do that, and make that happen for you. But that's an example of, making sure that the client knows to express. Like, you can't, if someone's feelings are hurt because they express, I mean, it's the bride's wedding day. They're the ones wearing the look. They have to love it.
Yeah, I know. It's
not us. It's the skin off our back. Like, you're the one wearing it on your most special day. Like, yeah.
No, I definitely agree. Communication is key. When I'm working with clients and I'm presenting like a tablescape, I want to hear feedback. So I ask them, what are your thoughts? And if I get that slight like pause in response, I ask, like, tell me what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is not my wedding day. I'm not going to be sitting there. I'll admire whatever work I have put together, but this is your wedding day. These are going to be your photos, your experience. So tell us what you want.
Don't be afraid to speak up. Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, this next one. So we know it's hot in Dallas.
Woo.
I don't think people understand how hot it gets.
Fire.
Like 100 degrees, like every single day during the summer. What are some tips and tricks to make sure your hair and makeup stays, that everything looks great throughout your wedding?
Do not go outside.
Yes. Oh, so you don't mean do all your hair and makeup and get married outside?
Okay, so we can't always avoid going outside, right? Going outdoors. But truly, if you can get ready in the same space, that's ideal. If that can't happen, then yes, we have. So using a primer for makeup, a setting spray, airbrush really helps with longevity.
Okay.
I don't think people always realize that. But
what's your favorite setting spray or primer?
So here's a fun fact: I actually don't do makeup personally.
Oh, really?
Did you know that?
No.
People don't
I
realize
look
that.
at you and I'm like, you're beautiful.
Oh
you
my
have
gosh,
to do
thank
makeup.
you. I do my own, and in a pinch I can do it, but I'm not like, no,
so you just do hair?
I just do hair.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a great, it's kind of funny, it's a MAC setting spray that I personally love, but the artists have their favorites. I can't think of a one, but they're like a professional grade kind of like setting spray. So they use that. Don't ever let anyone put hairspray on your face.
Wait, what?
I've seen this.
Does it happen?
I have seen this. Do not let them put hairspray on your face. Yeah. It's a drag makeup trick. So it works for what that, but you don't want, no. Anyway.
Do your eyes water or anything?
It's just not, yeah. It's just not a good idea. I don't think any real professional artist. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And it's great for drag state, but not for, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, okay, I digress. Hair tricks. So using so first of all, if you're coming to get, in a wedding situation, you're coming to get a preview done or on the wedding day, I recommend every bride get a blowout the day before. Okay, they're getting product in their hair before they're getting the volume that you want. It's still pretty fresh because it's only a day old.
Okay.
So having like a lightweight mousse or some sort of styling product while it's wet before it's dry. Then having a heat block and I like Kenra heat block spray. It has a protectant and hold to it, but it's really lightweight. It comes in an aerosol, so it can be layered. Then like a working spray, a really light working spray throughout the style, and then using a setting spray at the like a final spray at the end is really great. Pinning the curls will really help. And then also being realistic about what your hair will do. Yeah. So I always get nervous when clients are like, my hair does not hold curl ever.
That's me.
But I want a really, well, your hair's holding curl pretty good.
I mean, I've learned I need product. I can't do it by itself.
I'm like, it looks good.
And I did it like an hour and a half ago.
Well, it's holding good for now. Yeah, no, it looks good. But so it's always like working with your type of hair texture and what it will actually do. So we'll use all the tricks of the trade, but at the end of the day, you might need extensions for your style. You might need to take your hair up when you thought you might want it down.
Talk about the waves and I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't imagine. You need extensions. And I have to tell brides, I'm like, if you want that look, you need extensions. So what if a bride is like, I don't want extensions?
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Our advice is we're going to create the look, and you'll get the look, but it won't be the look. It'll be a version of that look. Yeah. It's just not going to look like the inspo photo that you're providing because you're not going to have that volume hair. Get the little clip-in extensions, and they're great, and then you can take them out at night. And you're good to go.
Brite Beauty did the Glam 4 It Ends With Us movie premiere.
My gosh.
Tell us about the experience.
Yes. Okay, so Colleen is like the best, kindest human. She's just amazing. And she does Book Bonanza in Dallas every year. And this is a huge convention where all these different romance writers come in, and their fans can come in and get their book signed. They'll attend panels, discussions, whatever. So our team goes out and does the hair and makeup for the panel discussions for the writers. And then we also do Colleen's hair and makeup. So last year, the Today Show was there, and I was freaking out because I'm obsessed with Jenna and Hoda and so I got to touch Jenna's hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally fangirled. It was ridiculous. I was freaking out. Anyway, but this year, so they did the movie premiere, and
for folks who don't know, who's in the movie?
Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Justin Baldoni, such a little hottie. He wasn't there this time, but the guy who plays Atlas was there. And then
and Justin Baldoni is the one who was in that show.
Yes. What's the name of that show? Something Virgin. Jane the Virgin.
Oh, and he was so cute in that show. Did you see him in person?
No, so he wasn't there.
Okay.
But the guy who plays Atlas in the movie was there.
Okay.
I'm terrible. I can't think of his name right now. And then the younger Blake Lively in the movie, we did her hair and makeup, and she was there. And so at the end of this conference, they rented out a theater nearby where the conference was and bussed all of these guests to talk about a planning. I can't imagine planning that event. But anyway, they bussed all the guests to the movie theater. And then before each showing in each theater space, right, Colleen, Blake, and then the other actors and actresses came up and announced the movie and all of that. And they did a lot of press that day. So a lot of the press that they've been showing, our team did hair and makeup for. So that's exciting.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you.
Did you get to do Blake's hair?
No. She travels with her own team.
Oh.
I know.
Fancy.
I mean, when you're Blake Lively, come on.
I know.
I guess you
gorgeous.
Do. She's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
Have you guys had any opportunities that take the cake for you?
We've worked with local celebrities and even Charleston from Southern Charm, Miss Madison LaCroix. She's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. So like, that's so easy. But honestly, this is such a cheesy answer, but it's so true. Like I'll get teary thinking about, like, I love what I do so much, and getting to see women become the best version of themselves day in and day out. Like, whether it's the girl who saved her money to get hair and makeup and it's like such a treat for her, or it's just automatically in the budget, or, you know, whatever, they all receive just a level of excellence in service. And when a woman looks good, you know, she feels good and she feels confident. And a confident woman can take over the world. I mean, she can do anything. So it's just so fun to see these gals get done. And then you can always tell when a woman loves her hair, because she'll stop, she'll look in the mirror, hair and makeup, and she'll touch her hair. So whether she's the outgoing girl that's like, oh my God, I love it, or she's the more shy girl, she'll look at herself in the mirror, she'll smile, and she'll touch her hair. And you know, you're like, done it. It's good.
Oh my gosh, I love the answer. Yeah, I mean, as a bride on a wedding day, you want to feel your most beautiful version of yourself. So for you to have that role must be really special.
It really is. It really is. And just, you know, we want those fiancés to cry. They better cry.
Yes.
You know.
You better cry when those doors open. You see me down the aisle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen, we had a little video go viral with the Q-tip. Have you seen that on Instagram? You'll have to go check it out. So funny.
With the groom was crying, and
yes,
he's like, "What am I going to do?"
Hysterical.
This cute? I've seen that so many times. I didn't realize that was in Dallas.
That's our team.
Oh, I love it. So
Liza
funny.
gave her that Q-tip, and she said, "I'm going to coach you how to cry." She's like, "Do not let those tears run. Take this." She had a dress with pockets. We love. So she was able to, like, you know, dab it, but she didn't need it. She was solid as a rock.
The groom was crying, and he's like, "Does anyone have a tissue?" And then she pulls out a Q-tip, and he's like, "What am I supposed to do with the Q-tip?"
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She's like, "It's for the makeup."
Just dab it. He actually does it. It's hilarious. Yeah. It was such a cute moment, though.
It was so cute.
Brought to you by Brite Beauty.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you have all this experience in the industry. You have to have at least one story of a not so fun client. Can you tell us about it?
Well, here's what I'll say. You know, we've all dealt with challenging clients. Yep. And so I always approach it as a learning experience. You know, was there a breakdown of communication? Is there something that we can do better? I always go there first. How can we excel? How can we meet the demands of this client and rise to the challenge, right? Once I've explored that, once I've, you know, done everything that we can do, you know, sometimes women are just going through it, and it honestly has nothing to do with us. I mean, once you've gone to a certain level, you're just like, okay, there's nothing I can do here, or there's always something you can do, but she's just still very challenging.
Yeah.
Then you just have to know there's something going on in her world. So, you know, one time we had a hair artist get yelled at, and she told her to get the F out of the room, and the hair artist was just simply going to get her to do her job, you know? And so in that instance, it's like there's something going on in her world that just isn't working for her, and we just don't take that personally. It's like, okay, we'll just let you have your time until you're ready to, I mean, at some point we got to get in hair and makeup, but, you know, just have your time till you're ready, and then we'll be ready. So
yeah, there's a lot of emotions when it comes to someone's big day, which totally understandable. So yes, I totally agree. Not everything is in our control.
And true statement. I was a little bit of a bridezilla. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I was too.
Okay,
for sure. I shouldn't say like a little bit. I was very much.
So like, you have empathy. You're like, I get it. Because, like, I turned into a person that I'm not even.
I know.
Like, what?
Being in the wedding industry, I think it's helpful when you've gone through that experience.
Yes.
And you're like, yes, I was that bridezilla. Yes, like, all these situations are happening.
Yep.
Like, that happened to me. And I empathize with you.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you your space.
Yes. Yes.
And then we can continue this after having your moment.
Exactly. I mean, it's something you've dreamed of for such a long time. You have a specific way you think it's going to turn out, right? So I can understand why you get so, you know, in that moment and wrapped up.
Yeah, I just, the amount of time that I thought about what I was going to serve at the bar because I was like having a cider moment there and I had to have a variety of cider. And like, but then I also had to have like Grey Goose because that was the only thing I drank when I went out. And, but then the venue wouldn't allow me to have certain things. Anyways, like I obsessed about that. I had my husband make, DIY everything.
Oh my gosh.
And he didn't understand why.
I bet your husband was so glad once it was over. I know mine was.
I mean, I got eczema. It stemmed from my wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Because I stressed myself out so much. And I didn't have a coordinator or planner. I forgot about family portraits after ceremony. Like everything that we tell our brides not to do, I did.
That's what makes you a great planner.
Yes,
yeah, because you learn from all of it.
I was definitely a bridezilla.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. So for all you brides out there, just know that you'll look back and some of those, you look back, you're like, was the cider thing that important? Like, probably not. Oh, no, it was. Okay. But some of that stuff you look back and you're like, it just is, it's all
I know,
okay.
but just know, like, your vendor team is there to help make it special.
Absolutely.
Like, we want it to be special.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you're like something that's out of control, like having a bad morning or something, I mean, just take a deep breath.
Yeah, your team's there. Just trust your, we'll say that.
Trust your vendor team.
Trust your team. You've hired them for a reason.
Yeah.
Let them do the heavy lifting. You just enjoy the moment.
And hire Marsi and her team.
We got you.
They're amazing.
We got you.
So how have situations like this influenced the way that you communicate to your clients? I know you touched on this briefly before.
Mm-hmm. I would just say that communication is key and that I would, yes. So a couple of things. So when you're working with a planner, I think it's really important. The more information the beauty team can have before the appointment is key.
So like what information?
Okay, can I give an example?
Enlighten me.
Yes, I have a great example. Okay, so we were working with a bride, and for whatever reason, I can't remember. Okay, the reason she contacted us wasn't where we ended up, but I'm glad that she contacted. I don't remember why she specifically reached out, but her planner gave her our contact, said, contact them. So I was having this was before her preview. So I was having a conversation. I said, okay, well, while I've got you, can you tell me a little bit about the look that you want, blah, blah, blah. So I took some notes. And she says, okay, well, I want to do my preview for my boudoir photos.
Which is different than your wedding.
Very different.
Okay.
But I don't even think she'd expressed this to her planner. So she's like telling me this. And she said, yes, I want it, because we were doing a trial before we did bridal portraits. So she was going to use the trial before her boudoir. And so I said, well, typically boudoir photos, you're going to have a lot more kind of sultry makeup.
Yeah.
Your hair's going to be down and tousled. Very different than like a wedding day bride look, I would think. Most of the time, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody I don't know. But anyway, typically. And she was like, oh, yeah, because I wanted to do like a red lip for these boudoir photos. And I said, do you want to do a red lip for your wedding day? You might, you might.
Yeah.
She was like, no, I want to do like a natural pink. I said, okay. Thank God we had this conversation, right? So we worked it all out. I said, let's do a different appointment for the boudoir. Let's use this for your trial for your wedding day. And it worked out great, right? Had we not had that conversation, she would have come in. The artists are now they're trying to just make the client happy. They're just trying to figure, okay, what are we going to do? Okay, do we do the red lip? She even mentioned like, maybe we can just take the red lip off and then do a pink. You know how hard it is to take off a red lip? Like in pits another.
I know.
Like that's not something you want to play around with, right? Especially right before
Once
photos.
It's on. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It could have been a complete disaster. So I was so grateful that I had the opportunity to talk to her. So again, communication is key and making sure those conversations happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so aside from the book tour, what's a favorite client experience that you've had?
I really don't have just one because there's so many. There's so many great ones.
Yeah.
And I just have such a fun time with the clients. And people ask me like personally, what's your favorite hairstyle? I don't have a hairstyle. My hairstyle is the favorite one for you. What do you feel great in? And I want to create that for you.
Or can you describe a moment where you're like, okay, this is why I love doing what I do?
Every week.
Aww.
Every day. I'm not kidding. Like I love it. I love it so much. And seeing the artists work with the clients, and it's incredible. I'll say this was a cool moment. My best friend's daughter just got married. I did my best friend's
At Notting Hill?
Uh-huh.
Is that the one? Okay.
Yeah. I did my best friend's hair, and I did her daughter's hair for the wedding. And as I was styling my best friend's mom hair, so the girl's grandmother, she goes, you did my hair for Christy's wedding. And I was like, I did. And it was just such like a full circle moment.
Yeah.
So that was really special. That was really cool.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, so Marsi, can you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yes, in Dallas, Texas. Okay, our Instagram is @brite.beauty. Our website is britebeauty.com, and it's spelled BRITE. And then, yes, our studio is in Dallas, off Lovers in the Tollway.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being
Oh
here.
my gosh, this was so fun.
I know. I'm so glad you made it all the way to Myrtle Beach.
Well, coming out here was such a
I know. It's so
such a
boring out here.
hardship. Yeah, coming out here to the beach, hanging out on the beach all day. It's fun.
Thanks so much for listening. You can find us on the podcast, online, Instagram, all that. And next time you're in Dallas, you can hang out with us.
Come hang out with us. We'll grab coffee. We'll grab a little cocktail.
Get our hair done.
Yeah, hair, makeup, beauty bar.
All right. Thanks so much for listening. See you next week.